Welcome to All Talk, All the Time. Live from the city of the Big Mango, we bring you the All Talk Network, where free speech absolutists live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the extravaganza this week. Welcome to Bangkok Bookies by way of All Talk Production. And we have an incredible show for you this week. But please, folks, first, like, subscribe, share,
and hit that button.
Bang that notification bell. Pass it out to your family, your friends, your pets, whoever. Pass it out. It helps us. It also helps you. So please, bang it hard. Make it a priority. All right, welcome.
I guess that's what she told you last night.
Yeah, she told me. She goes, I don't feel anything. But anyway, she said, anyways, folks. Also, as we have 9 games for you today. So, and again, you can catch us on YouTube, and in the future we'll be making changes. We'll be sure to inform you once those changes are permanently implemented. Also, you can find us on TikTok. So you'll have, not only will you have the full episode, you also have shorts to pick whatever game you like to pick. If you want something quick, you want it slow cooked, then stay with us here. All right.
And talk about shorts. Some of these waitresses here at Sportsman, their shorts are really short.
They are really short. And also, folks, that brings up a great day. Yes, the staff, they have a gorgeous staff here. Also, you want to come here for all your game and sporting needs.
Yeah, Sportsman's the best. Soy 13, right off of Sukhumvit. Been around here for years. They got all the games. They got dozens and dozens of TVs. They got dozens and dozens of pool tables, as you can hear in the back. The ball's cracking.
Yep.
And the food is great. Drinks are great. People are great, too.
People are great. And, of course, we're here with the star of the show, Boston Dave. I am your host, Big Joe.
Well, Joe, you know what? I think you were the star of the show last week with your contrarian tack that you took. I think you went 4-2, and the kid went 2-4.
Well,
this stuff happens.
What's funny is I got accused by some of the viewers, well, you're being a Dolphin homer. And I says, well, no, I'm not. Watch and see on Sunday what's going to happen. Now, granted, I didn't think they were going to win. But I said, look, they're going to stay inside the spread.
Historically, the Dolphins have always had a good go against the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, okay? And I think the game with the Patriots later on in the next couple of weeks with the Dolphins may be their Achilles heel, because they always are, all right? You know, for instance, God only knows how many times during the Brady era that the Patriots lost home field advantage during the playoffs because the Dolphins came in and spoiled it for them last game of the year.
Yeah, the Dolphins, like I said, the Bills have dominated recently. They were going into last Sunday's games. The Bills were 14-2 in the last 16, now 14-3. But I just had a feeling about that game because the way the public was so lopsided on it.
Right.
I just felt that the Dolphins were going to. That was my lock of the week, and I got a lot of heat. So I'm taking a victory lap.
All right, I just want to mention one thing. I know we're a couple of days late. Wearing my son's Marine Corps shirt. We had Veterans Day a couple of days ago. And, as you know, 250th anniversary, your birthday. I want to thank you, Joe, and everybody that came before you, including my son who's now serving in the Marines.
Yeah.
I laud you honorably. You don't get enough credit. So I thank you for your service.
Appreciate that.
Tell my son Gabriel that I love him. I love him dearly.
There you go, folks. It was us Veterans Day. It just passed. The Marine Corps celebrated their 250th birthday. But now we're going to celebrate some matchups here.
All right. How's your are you wearing your contrarian hat today, Joe?
We'll see. It depends on the games here you give me.
First game up. All right. So as we talked about over the last couple of weeks, a lot of these games start meaning crap, okay? Because statistically and probability-wise, 50% of the teams are so far out of the realm of even making the playoffs that we're not even going to look at them. But there are 9 games on the board today, this week, that are relevant. The Patriots handled the Jets earlier today. They beat them 27-14. It was a tight game going into the third quarter, halfway through the third quarter.
In the AFC East, when they play each other, it's usually the records don't really mean nothing.
Right.
When they play each other pretty hard all the time, even if they, look, the Patriots are 8-2, but it hasn't been an easy 8-2. The AFC East teams have played them hard.
They always do.
It was a fairly close game to the fourth.
Last week against the Tampa Bay against the Bucs, Patriots proved their mettle. All right, they had a great game. All right, and people claimed Patriots' schedule earlier in the year was easy. Nothing's easy in the NFL.
Nothing. There's 17 games. They're all important. The talent between the 8-2 teams and the 2-8 teams, it's like this. The talent disparity is very close in the NFL. That's why very few college players make it in the NFL,
right?
Because the talent is so brutal.
All right, here we go. First game up Sunday. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. We got the Bills are a 6 with a 47.5. The Bills are at 6-3, as well as the Buccaneers are at 6-3. Bills are 4-1 at home against the Buccaneers, who are 4-1 away. So, Mayfield is having a great year. He still has, 16 TDs to only 2 interceptions. Cook, the running back, is just tearing up the turf. 170 carries for close to 1,000 yards, and you've got the Egbuka wide receiver for Baker Mayfield. Hey Joe, this one's easy for me. I'm taking the Buccaneers +6 here. I'm going to take them +6 up in Orchard Park.
I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to take the favor.
Okay, so
I'm going to give you the 6.
All right, so for the Tampa Bay game at the Buffalo Bills, Big Joe is sticking with his contrarian. He's taking the Buffalo Bills -6, and Boston Dave is taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers +6.
And I'll tell you why. I know the Bills are running into some injury problems. The tight end, I think,
Kincaid is questionable.
Questionable. After the debacle in South Florida, I see the Bills. They can't fall much farther behind the Patriots. So this is an important game for them. They got to come out. They're at home. I think they're gonna win. That's why I think they're gonna win by more than a touchdown. Look, Tampa's a nice story. Baker Mayfield's a nice story. But I think the Bills, I think their pride.
Call it a nice story. Call it what you want, but he's still 8-1 touchdowns. He's got 8 touchdowns for every 1 interception.
Believe me,
that is more than a good story.
I would take Baker Mayfield as my quarterback, but we're talking a team game here. The Buffalo Bills have a better team than Tampa Bay, and Buffalo's going to beat them.
Geez, Joe. Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, Tampa Bay is 6-3 overall with a 4-1 record away, and Buffalo is 6-3 overall with a 4-1 record at home. So, now, I don't think that Mr. Josh, their quarterback, has an 8-1 touchdown ratio to interception.
Okay.
Do you?
He doesn't.
Okay, so why are you saying that they it's a team game and they got to win it?
They're going to win it. And take it, folks.
Well, they might win it. Are they going to win it by 7 or more?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I think you're wrong. So, again, Big Joe is taking... But Big Joe is going contrarian. He's taking the Buffalo Bills -6. And Boston Dave is taking Tampa
watch
Bay
them talking
+6.
crap this week. So next week I'm going to look...
Watch this. Watch what the score is. 14-8. Okay, that's what the score.
I wouldn't surprise me.
A push right down the middle. That
wouldn't surprise me.
All right, folks. All right, so the next one up on the board are the Bears at the Vikings. Okay, these are the monsters of the Midway going at it. Okay. They play inside now in Minnesota.
Yes.
So you're not going to have the weather a factor. Vikings are 4-5 at home and 4-5 overall and 1-3 at home. And the Bears are 6-3 overall with a 3-2 away record. Bookmakers got this game. 2 and 2.5 with a 48.5 over. Okay, quarterback for Chicago, Williams. He's got a 13 TD to 4 interception ratio. Running back Swift for Chicago's got 113 carries for 544 yards, a little short of 5 yards per carry. And the wide receiver, Mr. Jefferson from Minnesota, who's on my fantasy team. He's got 51 catches for 686 yards. So basically about 30 yards a catch. Okay, that's big time.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
big time.
Look, absolutely.
All right, so you know, I see it 2.5. I think on this one, Joe. Do you want to go first?
Well,
go
I'm
first?
not going to touch the spread. I'm going to go with the over and under. I'm taking over 48.
Okay,
Site I'm
so
looking at
Joe's taking over 48.
over 48.
All right, and you know what? I'm going to go out on the limb here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out on the limb here, bro. I'm taking the Chicago Bears on the money line. Okay, plus 135.
And I understand why. I think Williams is getting better. Minnesota, they got McCarthy back at quarterback. Their offense is playing better. This is a tough one. But, yeah, Chicago can easily go in there and win. Against the spread, Chicago's 5-4. Minnesota's 4-5 against the spread. So,
All right, so you're going over 48 in the Minnesota game?
Going over 48.
And Boston Dave is taking Chicago on the money line plus 130.
I think on that turf, they're going to score some points.
You do, huh?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay. All right, next game up, folks, is another big game for one of these teams and for the new coach for the Giants. We got the Green Bay
That's right.
Packers.
Brian Dable's been fired.
That's right. We got the Green Bay Packers at the New York Giants. Packers are 7.5 point favorite here with a 42.5. Giants are 2-8 overall, 2-2 at home. Green Bay Packers are 5-3 overall with a 2-1 away record. 7.5 this late in the season, Joe, playing outside in the cold. That's a big number, kid.
That's a huge number. I'm looking at that. I'm like, we're in what the NFL calls the second season now, November, and it's like that's a big spread for this time of year.
You know, Love had a crap game earlier in the week, so you know they may be jumping down his throat. He's got a 13 TD to 3 interception ratio.
Right. And when I mentioned last week, Packer fans got mad at me. I wasn't hating on Love. Most quarterbacks need a running game. Jordan Love, I'm sorry, he's a good quarterback. He hasn't proven he can carry a team.
Right.
And that's all I said. Again, when we talk elite quarterbacks, there's very few of those. Jordan Love's a decent quarterback.
Yeah. But he's still young.
Exactly. He's in his fourth year. He's still young. But, people got, hey, take a chill pill. And with that being said, who are you gonna go in this game, Boston Dave?
I'm not touching this. Not with a 10-foot pole, okay? Not with a 10-foot pole. I'd take the Giants plus 7.5 or 8. But they're so pitiful. They are so pitiful.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the Giants plus the 7.5.
Okay, so
I'll take.
Big Joe is taking the New York Giants plus the 7.5.
Sometimes when you get an interim coach, it sparks a little fire under you. Who knows? Maybe they'll play hard for the interim coach there. I forgot his name.
Right.
So forgive me, folks, for that. But get back to that later. But look, I think the Giants will play hard at home.
And you know what? The next game coming up, I was going to leave it off the board, Joe.
What's that?
But I'm not going to leave it off the board. Okay, and that's the Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers are one win away from, they're teeter-tottering. They're on the bubble. You've got the Bengals who are 3-6, 1-3 on the road, and you've got the Steelers 5-4, 3-2 at home. In this game, bookmakers got the game 5 and 5.5.
Yeah.
With a 48.5 and 49.5. Rodgers has an 18-7 TD to interception ratio. Warren, the running back for Pittsburgh, has got 113 carries for 474 yards. So their running game, he's got 2 TDs, but their running game really hasn't been established as a powerhouse. And wide receiver, you got Chase for Cincinnati. He's got 76 receptions for 831 yards, so about 11 yards, 12 yards per catch. What I am going to do in this game, okay, I see it is low as 48 and as high as 49.5. I am going to go under, okay, in the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game, under 49.5.
I agree. Actually, I agree with you on that. I agree. I'm not going to touch the spread, but yeah, I agree. It's going to be cold. We're getting into cold weather time now, especially in Pittsburgh. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be. So I have to go under. I would say under. I would say this game's like 20-13 or something.
All right. So, folks, for your entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Big Joe and both Big Joe and Boston Dave in the Cincy Pittsburgh game are going under 49.5.
Yes.
All right, next game up is a very important game for both these teams. You got the LA Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is a very important game, like you just said, for both teams.
Right. You got the Chargers at 7-3 overall with a 3-1 record on the road, and you got the Jacksonville Jaguars of 5-4 overall with a 3-2 record at home. I see this game as low as 2 and 2.5, favoring the LA Chargers with a 43.5. Joe, I'm not going to pussyfoot around here. I'm taking the LA Chargers -2 on this.
You know, I have to agree. One thing I notice with Jim Harbaugh coach teams, they're always physical. They don't really get beat up or blown out.
That's correct.
His teams are always going to punch you in the mouth.
And Herbert, as we get close, historically, as we get closer to playoff time, he becomes laser focused. Okay, I just don't think.
Well, Justin Herbert and knocking him as he chokes in the playoffs. That's been a knock on him.
I didn't say in the playoffs, Joe. I said as we get close to the.
Yeah,
playoffs.
well, I'm not gonna. I'll put him elite. He has elite skills. Yes. When he wins,
what I would suggest, Joe, for you is instead of going to the massage parlor after this, you go to the facial place and they'll clean your ears.
Yeah, well,
okay. I said, as we get close to the playoffs.
So I want to make sure that's emphasized. He hasn't proven that yet. No, does he have elite skills? Yes. As we get close, he usually starts choking.
No. As he gets close. He gets focused. If he gets into the playoffs, then he takes a big dump.
Well,
okay,
whatever.
It doesn't matter because I'm taking the LA Chargers -2 here. So you know what? Go with your contrarian hat and take the plus.
I'm taking +2 to Jaguars. They blew a big fourth quarter lead last week.
Talk about blowing things.
They choked. They absolutely do.
Okay.
And believe me, I don't like neither of these teams, but I think the Jaguars, after that meltdown in the fourth quarter, they're going to come out and play tough.
All right, so folks, for your viewing pleasure, and information only, the LA Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Big Joe, go ahead, Joe.
You notice you didn't mention the other quarterback for the Jaguars. They also got a young gun.
Who would that be, Joe?
You know who I'm talking, Mr. Clemson himself there.
Mr. Clemson, the one with the curly golden locks?
Yeah, that's right.
He's not a young quarterback, Joe. He's been in the league for 6-7 years already.
No, he hasn't. He didn't come into the league until the year after Tua and Herbert were in that 2020 draft. He ain't been in the league 6 or 7 years. Look it up.
I am going to look it up.
Go ahead.
Okay? I am going to look at this up.
I'm going to be right as usual.
Mr. Trevor Lawrence, okay, This is his 6th year.
He came in 2021. You better look closer.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, you're right, Joe. This is his 5th year. Okay, this is his 5th year. All right.
Yes, and he's Trevor Lawrence. Look, these are both young quarterbacks. They both have ability, but you're right. Boston Dave. They talked about Lawrence, not Lawrence. I mean Herbert. Later in the season, yeah, he gets focused, but in the playoffs, and I know we're not there yet. Herbert.
Not there. We're week 11. We got 7 more games, kid.
We're not. Whereas I said, we're heading there. We're marching there. But all I'm saying with Justin Herbert, I want him to prove himself late in the season more. That's all.
Well, listen, you know what, Joe? You're putting your money where your mouth is.
That's it.
Okay. Big Joe's taking Jacksonville +2, and Boston Dave is taking the LA Chargers -2.
I got to call as I see it. It kills me. I can't stand the Jaguars, but hey.
But you are, instead of the massage after this, you are going to get the ears cleaned, right?
I already got them cleaned.
Okay, here we go. Next game up, folks. This is an afternoon game, but very, very important. It's an in-division game. Okay, this quite possibly could determine, who wins this division. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb. Whoever wins this game, it's got a 75 to 80% chance of winning that division. You got the Seattle Seahawks, who are 7-2, 4-0 on the road, versus the LA Rams, who are 7-2 and 3-1 at home. Bookmakers have the LA Rams +3.5 with a 48.5 straight across the board. Matt Stafford.
Plus?
Pardon me? The LA Rams are -3.5 with a 48.5 across the board. Matt Stafford
played great last week.
He played great last week. He has a 25 touchdown to 2 interception ratio. That's 12.5 touchdowns for every interception that he's thrown.
He's phenomenal.
He's having a phenomenal year. Okay, you got Caleb Williams, the running back. He's got 150 carries for 700 yards. Okay, not a stellar year, but you know what he's got? He's got 5 touchdowns. So they're using him. They're using him in the red zone. They're belly blasting with Caleb Williams when they're in the end zone. And then you've got for Seattle. You've got Smith, Juju Smith, their receivers, got 63 catches for over 1,000 yards, and I think that's enough. Okay, I think that's enough to put Seattle over the top. I know it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I can see 23-20. I can see 31-28. I can also see 21-18.
And you got the quarterback for Seattle who's rejuvenized his career, former Jets top pick there.
Yes, you do. All right, so
Donald.
Yep.
Sam Donald.
Yep.
And
so old DL, old Boston Dave here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is taking the 3 and a hook. He's taking Seattle plus the 3.5 here.
All right, I'm going to go contrary on this. I'm going to take the Rams. And the only reason why, look, this is going to be a close game. But I think Stafford's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think the quarter is going to come down to quarterbacks. In the fourth quarter, I think Stafford delivers.
I don't think it's going to come down to quarterbacks, Joe. These games never do because they're both great quarterbacks. I think this is going to come down to turnovers.
Well, I wouldn't call Sam Donald great. He's good. Okay. This guy is great. And again, you're right. It could come down to anything.
Well, don't forget when he was with Detroit. Okay, he was, he had an upside down interception to touchdown ratio
because he had to carry the team. But with the Rams, they got a good organization, good coach, good general manager.
Okay,
and he's very quietly having an MVP type season. I mean,
the contrarian in the Seattle versus LA Rams game is going LA Rams -3.5.
Yes, I am.
And Boston Dave is taking Seattle.
I'm taking your advice. 12.5 touchdowns to every interception.
Well, there you go.
So that's what I'm basing it on, and I'm going.
Well, good. That you know what? That might hold a little bit of water. But Boston Dave is taking Seattle plus the 3.5. Okay, next game up, also a very important game. Okay, it's an afternoon game. Okay, you got your San Francisco 49ers, who are 6-4, 4-2 in the road, at the lowly Arizona Cardinals, who are 3-6 and 1-3 at home. And by the way, we just got word that Mr. Brock Purdy had a full practice today,
Yeah.
Thursday, and Brock Purdy is starting on Sunday. Okay? And there's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot to catch up on.
And what's interesting with this game, Dave, is even though Arizona is 3-6, they're not an easy out a lot of times.
No.
They sort of remind me about the Dolphins. They play hard. There are no gimmies with them.
Right.
But Brock Purdy, he's coming back. They gotta love that.
Right. Now, the standout for both receiving, statistically, the standout player in this game for both receiving and running is a San Francisco 49ers, and that's McCaffrey. He's got 180 carries to 626 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's also got 69 receptions, okay, for 692 yards for 4 TDs, okay? And what that means is he's got over 1,300 total offensive yards, okay? I see this game 2 and 2.5. Again, you know what? I'm going with the statistics. Boston Dave in the San Francisco Arizona game, I'm taking San Francisco -2 here, Joe.
I agree with you on that, actually. I agree. I agree. I think McCaffrey, early on, they're going to lean on him as Purdy works his way back in, works off the rust. I think they'll lean on McCaffrey.
Right.
And Arizona, they're very inconsistent. I mean, can they very well play this game close? Yes. But I think the better team is San Francisco. And they got hit pretty hard last week. The Rams put it on them a little bit.
Yes, they did. They spanked them.
And so I think San Francisco is gonna I'm gonna take, like you said, the hook. I'm taking San Francisco. I agree with you.
All right, so for the San Francisco-Arizona game, both Boston Dave and Big Joe are taking San Francisco 49ers -2. Let's move on to the next game, Joe, and that's Baltimore at Cleveland. Okay, this is a huge game for Baltimore. Ever since Jackson came back from his injury,
a different team.
It's a different team, and he's proved himself. Even though last week statistically he underperformed, he still won.
Yeah, when he needed him.
Bookmakers have this game 7.5 with a 38.5. Okay, I see it as low as 37.5 and as high as 39. Okay. Got to wait until we get the official weather report, so I'm going to lay off that. But bookies have this game at 7 and 7.5. Joe, even though I've got Lamar Jackson as my quarterback in fantasy football, and even though he's performed, to the coaches and the league's expectations coming back from that hamstring industry, you know what, kid? I'm laying off. I'm not touching this game. I'm not touching the total, and I'm not touching the side.
This is another weird interdivisional rival game where records really don't mean nothing. Cleveland could easily play Baltimore tough in this game. So I agree. I'm going to lay off a 2. It's enticing. The bookmakers, they put, I'm looking at covers and some other. They have the Ravens at -8.5.
All right. Now, I guess the question in this game, will these morons up in Cleveland, who in no way in hell are going to make the playoffs, will they ever give Shedeur Sanders the opportunity to take some snaps?
I would like to know what's going on, and I'd love to watch their practices. I don't know why they're holding him out. You have nothing to lose anymore. You're not going to the playoffs.
I know he's had some back spasms, okay, but for a kid like that, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. At least, you could platoon. You could platoon the 2 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Use them in different scenarios. But, I think it was wasted talent.
Let's at least get him in the game.
Get him in the game. Get him some snaps. All right. So for the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns, both Boston Dave and Big Joe have been neutered, have been castrated, don't have balls. We're not going to be taking anything on this game. Okay.
I'm laying off it.
So next game up, another big game Interdivision, okay, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos.
Oh, this
okay.
is a good game.
Chiefs are 5-4, 1-3 on the road, and the Broncos are 8-2, 5-0 at home. KC's 3.5. I see it as high as 4. Joe, this I'm not. You know what? Every time I've had diarrhea mouth, okay, and taken an obvious choice here, I've lost. But I'm going to take my chances again. I see it 3.5 and 4. Boston Dave here, Boston Dave in this event is going to be splitting his bet unit. He's going to be taking the Denver Broncos plus the 4, and he's going to be taking the Denver Broncos on the money line plus 190.
And I got to be honest with you, that you make great sense there. I totally get why you would do that, and I get it. Denver's defense is really good. Denver's won some ugly games lately, but it doesn't matter. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day.
You said that before, Joe.
Yep, and the fact of the matter is they're 8-2. This is going to be a close game, but I'm going to go against, like I said, technically, I agree with everything you said, but I'm going to go against all that. I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs minus the 4. I'm going to.
Oof.
I think I think they've lost to Denver earlier in the year, I believe, if memory serves correct.
Okay.
And I think Kansas City realized if I'm going to make a run, it's got to start now. This is a big game. I think Kansas City comes out and shows.
Okay, so folks, you heard it. You heard it from the big Joe Ball's mouth. All right, he's going with the Kansas City Chiefs minus the 4, and Boston Dave is taking the home team. Okay, Denver is going to split his bet unit. Denver plus 4 for half a unit, and Denver plus 190 on the money line for half a unit.
I'm not sure that either. I believe they played early in the year, these two teams. Yep, and a couple of computer simulated sites have Denver eking this out. But I don't know. I'm just going to go with my gut. Like I said, Boston Dave, to be fair, folks, he made all valid points there. Educated points, but for something I have a gut feeling about Kansas City, so
all right.
Go ahead and the trolls can give me crap about it. Go ahead.
And the next game up, which is the Sunday night game, hugely important because you've got 3 teams that are playing, that are 3 NFC teams that are vying for first place. We already gave our opinion on San Francisco. We're both laying 2 with San Francisco against Arizona. But this game on Sunday, you've got the 6-3 Lions at the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Lions are 3-2 on the road. Eagles are 3-1 at home. Okay, another squeaker here. Okay, the bookmakers got 2 and 2.5 favoring Philly, with a 46 and 46.5 for a total. Okay, you got Goff, who's got a 20 touchdown to only 3 TD to interception ratio. That's 7 touchdowns for every interception that he throws. You've got Gibbs, the Detroit running back, got 128 carries for 700 yards with 8 TDs. And then you've got St. Brown, the Detroit wide receiver, who's got 64 receptions for 700 yards. Okay. I think the Eagles, got some hidden problems, Joe. Okay. Their offense and both their defense, statistically compared to last year, have underperformed. Okay. And I just think that Detroit is destined to take that division, to take that conference, the NFC. The coaching, very rarely, if it's fourth and less than, 4th and 5 or less, Detroit goes for the fourth
Yeah,
downs.
Dan Campbell's a riverboat gambler.
Yeah, and it's worked for him. It's worked very well for him. I think the Lions are going to control the line of scrimmage. I think the Lions' defense this year is as good, if not better, than Philadelphia's defense, which, like I said, comparatively to last year, has underperformed. They're no longer the number one defense in the league. I am going to, again, on this game, I am going to split. I'm going to split my bet unit. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions plus 2.5 on the point spread, and I am going to take the Detroit Lions plus 160 on the money line.
Well, I agree with that pick. And I if I'm Detroit, I make Jalen Hurts beat me. I take away Barkley. I take away those running lanes. If you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me in the air.
Right.
And that's if I'm Detroit, that's my strategy. Make Jalen Hurts, make him beat you. Because even though, yes, the Eagles are 7-2, but like I said, I watched them last week against that boring Packers game.
Yeah.
First half, nobody's scoring. I think Detroit, they're 6-3. They've put a pretty tough schedule. And Dan Campbell, one thing I do like about him, he's tough-minded as a coach, and I think it reflects on that team. They take his cue. I think Detroit wins this game on the road.
Okay.
I take the plus 2.5.
All right. So, folks, for the Detroit at Philadelphia game, Boston Dave is going to split his unit bet. He's going to take Detroit Lions plus 2.5 for half a unit and plus 140 on the money line for half a unit. And Big Joe Balls is going to be taking the points. Detroit plus 2.5.
Absolutely.
Okay, so folks, I know that earlier in earlier podcasts we said that we were going to start doing 2 a week. One sticking with both NFL football and soon to be college football because we're coming into the bowl season, but also for NBA, NCAA basketball, and NHL hockey.
Right.
We got that content coming up for you. So, and we're still up 4.5, 5 units for the year, Joe, cumulatively between our picks, which is good. That's good. And this is what, our 6th week? Is this our 6th week doing it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty good run.
In other words, you've been following us and watching us, you're making money. Actually,
right.
You're making, and again, remember, entertainment purposes only. But I think we're gonna run as the season grinds down, the regular season. There's going to be a lot. We're going to see some interesting games the next several weeks.
No question about it.
People are vying for playoff spots, vying for home field. And usually you'll see some team come out of the woodwork that's surprising. And so maybe a team fade that you don't expect to fade. So,
and I want to put out a shout out to your production staff. Without him, none of this content would go up.
Yeah, CJ's the best.
Yeah, CJ's a good guy.
He's working hard to get it out. So, folks, like I said at the top of the show, please like, subscribe, share,
punch that button.
Bang that notification button. Follow the All Talk Production channel. And, of course, by way of the All Talk Production channel, you find Bangkok Bookies. And
www.playexpat.com and bet on it.
There you go, folks. Thanks for watching. Pass it to spread the word.
Have a winning week.
Take care.